Always good to take a couple of minutes to get it going. Hello. Hello, YouTube. This is the Gentleman Scholar. And I thought I'd get a video in there just to kind of remind everyone that I'm alive, in case you were wondering. What do I want to talk about today? The power of writing. Excuse me. Writing. I think I've told you folks before that I keep a journal, and I've been keeping one on and off since January 1st of 1987. Ash that out a little bit. And I kind of wish I kept one during high school. Can you imagine all that John Hughes drama I could have recorded back then? Like, I hate these clothes that I'm wearing. They're not name brand. I'll never fit in like all the other kids. That type of thing. You know, all that stupid stuff would be fun to laugh at now. Pardon me. I think a man relaxes from a slightly more relaxed pace when it comes to lighting the pipe and talking. He just sits and smokes an entire bowl and just speaks whatever comes into his head. And I really dig that. Anyway, about writing. Yeah, I kept a journal in high school, and really helped me get through a lot. I'm sorry, not during high school, but right after high school. I wish I'd done it during high school, like I mentioned before, because I could have recorded a lot of cool shit. But I did do it during college and then all through flight attendant training. Another relight, I think. You might not think so, but flight attendant training was way more stressful than you would imagine it to be. I mean, let's see, it's like 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day as they cram every bit of information about each plane in the fleet into your head. And then, of course, the surface flow on each of those planes into your head. And then you get tested on it like 2-3 tests a week, sometimes 4. You failed 3 of them, you were out. I mean, you just had to study like any other test, but still, stressful. And then, of course, they had this stuff going around like Big Red was walking the hallways. Apparently, she's like some super senior mama. She's like 900 years old, and she'd be looking for any little infraction about your dress code or something. She'd tap you on the shoulder, and you'd be kicked out. So everyone was fearing the tap on the shoulder from Big Red. So yeah, all that stuff's in there. Some of those entries are I was so damn tired they're like sliding off the page because. But yeah, I recorded that. I'm glad I have that to look back on. Although I rarely look back at my journals. But recently, I've on and off. I've been keeping what I call a writer's journal. You know, just stuff to write about to spark your creativity. You know, just I don't know, maybe figure out what you're all about, that kind of thing. I've done it in notebooks, and I've also done it in on something called Write Next, and I'll get to that in a minute. more fire up. This is my first church warden, by the way. It's a medico. Love the thing. I need to get more church wardens. I need them like I need an asshole right there. But I've got, I think, maybe 2 of them. But hey, you can never have enough church wardens. We'll call it Pad, shall we? Get down to the bottom now. Getting a little ashy. But anyway, writer's journal. You can pretty much write what's on your mind, and you just time yourself. You just you put your cell phone, put your smartphone on, and write in 20-minute blocks. And if you don't like what you're writing, you start something new. If you want to expand upon what you're writing, you keep going for 20, 40, and ultimately 60 minutes. Now, write next. Give you a moment. One day I'll master how to talk with a pipe in my mouth. Right, I don't do stuff like that. That's the next stage of my quote-unquote pipe journey, to be able to talk with a pipe in my mouth, clenching it like a codger would. I think she might be out. Hold on. Yeah, I'm mashing it pretty good. Any more in there? Hard to tell. Anyway, right next is a I guess you could call it an app. It's just like that's what you call it. Right next. It's the 2 words, capital capital W, right next, capital N, right next. And all it is, it's an app. And you can start an account for free. That's the best part about it. And what you do is you can set goals for yourself. Like, let's say I want to write for an hour today, or whatever, or I want to write so many words. It keeps track of your progress. And of course, I've been spotty with it because I'm a procrastinator. But the last week or so, I've been doing I've done like 3 entries, and of course, I hate to say it, but for a lot of my writings, my mom is my muse, which is kind of a little disturbing because without going into the gory details, my mom and I did not really get along very well. We had a very fiery relationship when we were growing up, and a lot of that BS is still in there. So what I would like to do, like I said, I'm exercising a lot of that stuff in my writings, and I said, the hell with it. Inspiration's inspiration, so I'm just going to write. But you sit there and you write, and you look up, and it measures the time you're spending with every keystroke you're doing, which is great. And yeah, it keeps you, like I said, you get into the writing zone. You really kind of just sort of start, living the words, and if there's no distractions, you can go full screen. You can't see any other notifications coming up on your feed, like anything from Facebook or any other platform that you are in. It's just pure writing, and you're just writing, and every single keystroke you see like your goal being reached on the graph. So yeah, I wrote for an hour yesterday. I put, just to test it, I also use this smartphone here to test myself, and it turns out I actually wrote more in that 1 hour than I ever have. I just got a lot of stuff out, and which is good. Writing is supposed to be good. Writing creatively is supposed to be good for you anyway, just to get stuff out of your head, just to kind of examine it. And yeah, I would personally prefer to write stories, just cool stories of superheroes and champions, and just stories where people change and grow and become better. I'd like to do that, but apparently the muse has other ideas, so I'm just writing that. And you can save your PDFs. You do whatever if you want to save them. It says you can even save it on Twitter once you're done your latest thing. I don't, no, not doing that. But can use it as a blog platform if you want to. But yeah, Right Next is a very, very good app to, if you're interested in any kind of writing, Right Next will help you make it a habit. Um, I mean, it shocked me that I wrote for an hour yesterday. Um, and speaking of which, I just want to, we'll just sort of link this up with pipe smoking. I'm into 12 minutes now, but I'll finish this story. Once upon a time, way back when, before I started picking up the pipe, before the YTPC even, um, found this blog on Blogspot called The Frumpy Professor. Now, The Frumpy Professor is, well, as the name would imply, he was a professor in a small university in upstate New York, and he writes these long tracts. And he used to be a pipe smoker. He's not anymore, because I remember way back when he would write these long passages about, marrying the flame to the tobacco, and he was so into his pipes, and he just, I mean, it was almost like a sublime sort of magical description for me. And I even asked him once upon a time, it's like, if I start smoking pipes, do you help me out? He said, sure. I don't know where he'd find the time. But again, this is before I discovered the YTPC. Let me clean this pipe out. So yeah, I mean, I used to follow his blog, and then I lost track of him for a while when I did discover the YTPC and all these mentors that want to talk about pipes and the lighting of pipes and everything else. So yeah, lost track of him. But now I'm back reading him from time to time, and he's since given up his pipes. Very good writer. He has a very busy schedule, so I don't know how the hell he juggles everything that he juggles. He runs like at least 7 miles a day in the morning. 7 miles a day in the morning, and then he has classes to prep for and everything else. And now he devotes a portion of his blog to him missing his pipes. It's like he's talking himself back into smoking pipes, it sounds like, but he's abstained now for like 3 or 4 years, it sounds like. And he wants to go back to them, and I think he's doing a long, slow, glacial process of going back to them. And but it's kind of sad, because it's like he used to be such a devotee, and now I see him yearning for them, pining for them, and he's a good Catholic, so he wants the I don't know, I guess the withholding of pleasure is a big Catholic thing. I don't know what, but that's part of it. But he's a very well-read man, very erudite man, and his family's lucky to have him, because I don't know how the hell he sleeps at night, because he has so many plates spinning. But if you want to check him out, The Frumpy Professor, he'll write about anything, really. His classes, the co-workers he doesn't particularly care for, who shall remain nameless. Just, life in a small Northeast university. And of course, he knows what he's talking about pipe-wise. So yeah, check him out. But writing, he's using writing to get stuff done in his head. He's had it for years. He's got to be at least 10 years now, probably even more. Because, I mean, he archived the whole thing. You can go way, way back, 10, 15 years. But, no, he's a really good guy. He was a really good pipe gateway to start with. And I still check on him from time to time. I'll write the occasional post to him. Rarely answers, but that's okay. Well, that's all I want to say, is that writing can help you clear stuff out. Go get a notebook. It could be the greatest therapy you've ever had. Just make sure, if you don't want people to read it, to hide it pretty well. But again, I'm glad I keep a journal, and I'd like to be writing more consistently, but unfortunately, I'm a procrastinator, and I'm basically lazy. So, I'm not like tripping over myself to write the latest epic or something. Some writers can't wait to get to paper, but that blank page really stops you sometimes. Like 2 days ago, I wanted to write something, and nothing was there. It's just like looking, I said, screw it. I just poured a glass of wine and started watching a movie, because nothing was coming out. But yesterday, I got to thinking about Mother's Day, and quite frankly, how I'm glad I don't have to deal with that whole drama anymore. And I just started writing, and all this stuff started coming out that I had no idea was lodged in the nooks and crannies. So there I was. Also, yeah, Right Next also allows you to edit and share, like I said before. So yeah, consider writing an option if you want to clear your head out a little bit. Okay, guys, I'm going on 17 minutes now. That's more than That's more than plenty of time. So take care of yourselves. Good to know you, YTPC, and speak to you soon.